welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. I am Brittany Bats, and this is where I like to talk about horror movies. So recently I conquered a really big fear of mine, and that was to finally watch The Sadness. If you don't know anything about The Sadness, this is a Taiwanese body horror film that was released in 2021. I remember seeing endless tweets about this whole movie, and some scenes were specifically extra shocking, and I honestly was hesitant to even start this. I thought this was a movie that I really couldn't handle, but I was feeling a bit wild, and I decided to try something a bit more extreme than my usual go-to horror movies. The beginning of this film starts off with a young couple named Jim and Kat. They are having a bit of a stressful conversation, but everything is okay for the most part, or so they think it is. The couple goes on about their day, even having a pleasant moment with their neighbor. It isn't until Jim drops Kat off at work that he is then followed by some really violent people all the way back home. So it seems Jim has returned home safely, or so he thought he did, until the neighbor, which Jim spoke with earlier, is now breaking inside the home. Jim has no choice but to fight off this neighbor, ending with him unaliving this neighbor. He then heads out in search for Kat. Then at about the 30-minute mark, we see Kat on a subway, and she's kind of being bothered by this really pushy guy. This is when the stabathon and bloodbath really begin. This scene looks so chilling as a deranged stranger gets on the subway and begins attacking everyone. He is wearing some sunglasses that make him look pretty cool, so he does this in style, I suppose. But this has to be one of my biggest fears ever, being stuck on any type of transportation and there is someone going crazy. The fast pacing of this movie reminds me a lot of 28 Days Later, but it's not too fast. Like, you'll be able to follow everything that's happening. There is a nose biting scene that actually made me cringe, and I love when a movie can do that. That just shows you how powerful the performances are and even the special effects. This movie is basically a compilation of all of your deepest, darkest fears, well, at least mine, creating an intensely nerve-wracking experience. With that being said, I do want to give a trigger warning to anyone who hasn't seen The Sadness yet. There are SA crimes that take place with the infected. I wish there was a happy ending to this film, but there is not. Jim finally makes it over to his love, Kat, at the hospital. When he arrives, Kat can clearly see how Jim is infected, and he's ready to charge at her. If you have a weak stomach, maybe you should skip watching this movie, or at least some scenes, because not only are people becoming rabid when they're infected, but they also do some really extra disturbing things, more than just a regular zombie movie. Through Jim's battle with the infection, he almost managed to have one last heartfelt moment with Kat. In one of those last shots, Kat escapes from Jim and finds an exit out of the hospital. We can hear helicopters flying by, but once she makes it out those doors, we just hear gunshots. The film then cuts back to Jim, where he is just smiling, and then we are taken to the credits. This ending is so gnarly and unforgiving. I was pleased with it overall, since I knew this was going to be extreme. At times, I even had to look away from the screen because of how intense it really became. But I love when a movie can really shock you. No one is safe in this movie, okay guys? Not even sweet little babies. That's how crazy this gets. The gore and effects are outstanding. I thoroughly enjoyed all the visuals and the tense atmosphere that was created. I say give this one a shot if you're in the mood to watch something a little bit unsettling and push the envelope with horror movies. Please let me know your thoughts on the sadness if you've watched this one. I've definitely been scarred. When something terrifies me this much, it leaves an unforgettable mark. So bravo to the sadness. Thank you all for watching my video. I really hope you enjoyed this, and I appreciate you all. Love you.